Okay, welcome back to Mint Mind. Today we're going to go straight into the 2023, one of the reasoning papers for maths. We're going to jump straight into question one. It's not a good start, I'll be honest with you. Here we go. Question one, it says circle the clock that shows 5 minutes past 11. So we don't have digital, we've gone straight analog, and we've also got Roman numerals as well. So hopefully you know your positions of the clock already, but we need to understand that that's going to be our 1 and our 2, and we need to actually convert across from Roman numerals. So actually, if we're looking here, we're looking for what is 11, and xi is 11 because we've got 10 add 1. So if you know that, we can track down our 11. So here's our 11, here's our 11, here's our 11, here's our 11. And then we're looking for 5 minutes past that. Each one of these sections is worth 5 minutes, as with a normal clock. And so this is going to be our answer. 5 minutes past 11. 11:05. Doubly difficult because you've got to know Roman numerals and the position of the hands on an analog clock. So really rough start for question one, and it's only worth 1 mark as well. But we did get it. We have to circle the whole clock. We're going to follow exactly what the question asks us to do. Done. 1 mark. Well done us. Question two. Write these temperatures in order, starting with the lowest. -10. So we're thinking of a scale. We're thinking with our zeros here. Thinking with, say, 10 there. We use just an arbitrary number. -10 there. So the first one we've got is -10 degrees Celsius. Great. Done. That's our lowest. I'm going to confidently put it in there. Next up, we've got to look where's going to come next. Well, the only other negative that we've got is -4. So that will come in there. -4 degrees. Next, we're going up to 0. Now we're going past 0. We now get to 1 degree. Then we get to 3 degrees. And then we get to 6 degrees up there. So 1, 3, and 6. I'm going to check I've got it right. Starting with the lowest. -10 is the lowest. -4, 1, 3, 6. Check I haven't got any other negatives anywhere. No, that's positive. That's negative. That's positive. That's negative. And that's positive. A little bit more straightforward, a tiny little bit more forgiving than question one. Question three, coordinates. Before I'm even looking at the question, I'm remembering that it's along the corridor, then up. So we're going to be doing whatever's on our X first, and then up the stairs or down the stairs, do our Y. So ABC is a triangle. What are the coordinates for point C? So find point C. This is what we're targeting here. And we're going to see how many steps we need to go along the corridor. So we go along to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is the point we want to stop. So 6 is our X coordinate. And then how far up do we want to go on our Y? 1, 2. And if we write it like that, it would be 6, 2. 6 paces along, 2 paces up. 6, 2. What are the coordinates of point C? The key is, as you get into each question, try and log into the mode of what is the question asking me? What is the one thing I need to know or remember to get myself through it? Okay, question 4. Some children choose their favourite zoo animal. This pictogram, so a picture represents a number and there is a key. Every full circle stands for 2 children. So we're going to know straight away that a half circle equals 1. I'm not looking at the question yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to use that. Some children choose their favourite zoo animal. Penguin, ... 2, 4, 6. Elephant, 2, 4, 5. I'll even just write these in. I'm not even noticing what the question's asking me yet. 2, 4, 5. Tiger, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Giraffe, 2, 3. How many more children chose the tiger than the elephant? So, tiger is 12. The difference between the two, take away 5. The answer is 7. How many more children? So we've got to go from 5 up to 12. That is a +7. It didn't take me very long to write on the pictogram there to notice my numbers. If you can do it quickly, I would. I'd be writing all over the question and getting ahead of whatever they could ask you. It's only a 1 mark question, but you never know. Next question, question 5. Cars and motorbikes are parked in a street. A car has 4 wheels, a motorbike has 2 wheels. Stefan counts 3 motorbikes and 5 cars. He counts 28 wheels altogether. Explain why Stefan cannot be correct. So before we can do that, we need to work out what the correct answer is. So we've got 5 cars, and I'll be writing exactly this. 5 cars times 4 wheels equals 20 wheels. And then 3 motorbikes. 3 motorbikes times 2 wheels equals 6 wheels. 20 add 6 equals 26, not 28. 2 things on this. On a written question, when you need to explain, I know you think you can just use words. You need to use numbers in a written explanation every single time. Use numbers, because the mark scheme is going to have numbers in there. And I know this sounds almost comical. 20 add 6 equals 26 and not 28. But what you're doing is you're referencing back what the original statement was. He counts 28 wheels altogether. Explain why he cannot be correct. 5 cars times 4 wheels equals 20 wheels. 3 motorbikes times 2 wheels equals 6 wheels. 20 add 6 is 26, not 28. You don't need to write a big story about Stefan. Writing that maths in there and explaining why he's just miscalculated it, that's fine. That will get the mark, no problem whatsoever. Okay, question 6. Kirsty buys 1 litre of apple juice for £1.39. She pays with a £5 note. How much change does Kirsty get? This litre of apple juice is actually not of any importance to us whatsoever. All we want to know is she pays with a £5 note and it cost her £1.39. So looking for you to do a decimal subtraction there. Can't do it as it stands. Just turn this into a decimal. 5.00. You're not changing the number, but now we can do that subtraction. She had £5. We take away £1.39. We do that underneath. The first thing you're going to put in your answer is the decimal point, so that you don't forget that. And it's going to take a little bit of exchanging, but not too bad. So 5.00. I'm saying in my head every time, 0, take away 9. Can I do it? No, I can't. So I need to exchange from here, 4. Convert that into 10. Still, 0 take away 9. Can I do that? No. So I need to exchange again. Do it in each individual step. 10 take away 9, 1. 9 take away 3, 6. 4 take away 1, 3. £3.61. Accuracy in this, as in neat presentation, is going to really help. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in real trouble when you're trying to exchange. Is that a 9 in there? Was I meant to put 19? Is that 11? Be really clear. Draw it nice and big like I have. And line up those decimals. Here's a number sequence. 75, 50, 25, blank, blank. 2 things they're testing on here. They want to know, can you work out the gaps, the jumps between each number, which is minus 25, minus 25. I check both of them just to make sure the gap doesn't change, like in a Fibonacci sequence or in square numbers where the gap between them alters as you go. Well, it's a linear sequence, so minus 25 each time. First one, not too bad. 25 take away 25 is 0. They're also testing the maths objective to be able to count across a 0 interval, so to go into negative numbers. So now we go down another 25 and they want a negative 25. Give yourself a mark right next 2 numbers in the sequence. Job done. In 2012, there were 24,372 schools in the United Kingdom. Round it to the nearest 100. So if I'm rounding it to the nearest 100, I know I'm going to have at least 2 zeros at the end, because nearest 100, I'm going to have 2 zeros at the end. It may well be that I tip into another 1,000, so I might have 3, but my answer I know definitely has to have 2 zeros at the end. So 24,372. If I'm rounding to the nearest 100, I actually need to look at the tens column to work out whether I'm rounding up or down. The tens is a 7, so I need to round up. And then I've got to think of the 100 number that's up from 372. 24,400. 24,400. Or you can look at this, 24,300 is lower. 24,400 is higher. In the middle here is going to be 24,350. And where is my number that we're actually working with going to land? 372 is going to land there on this side. Therefore, it's going to be closer to 24,400. And so we round it towards that number. Question 9. Match each diagram to the name of the dashed line. It's going to just be learning the terms on this one. Parts of a circle. So circumference, the way I remember it is that it looks like circle and it goes round the shape. So the dashed line would be here. And if I ever do a diagram, I'd be like circumference, round in a circle. The diameter is all the way across the circle there, and the radius is half of that, or the diameter is double the radius. That's just going to be learning your parts of a circle. Just remember, circumference sounds like circle, so it goes around the circle. Diameter, I don't have a fancy or tricky way of learning that really. Okay, Ken thinks of a number. He divides it by 3. So you've got question mark. He divides it by 3. The answer is 72. So he thinks of a number, he divides it by 3, the answer is 72. They are testing the inverse. You have to work backwards. 72, if you're going to go back in a mirrored fashion, you'd have to do times 3. 72 times 3. Do my ones column first. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 7 is 21, 216. And then as I'm writing it, I'm going to do a very quick check. Plumb that in here. Put it instead of my question mark. 216 divided by 3. Does that sound about right for 72? Does that make sense as an answer? Yeah, it does. He's got a number. He splits it into 3 pieces and it's 72. If you've got it wrong, if you've done 72 divided by 3, or you've got any number that's less than 72, it wouldn't make sense, would it? You'd have a number divided by 3 and got 72. You've got a bigger number, split it into 3. So you're looking for a number that's bigger than 72. Well, Mark, write down the number that is 1,000 more than 19,039. So we've got 19,039. You've got your thousands over here, hundreds, tens, ones. Honestly, if more people just write those place value headings, it would make things a lot easier. If you've got one more thousand, you go from 19,000 to 20,000. Nothing else in the number changes. You're adding one more thousand. You've gone from 19 to 20. 3, 9. 20, 0, 3, 9. I think the markers are, or the examiners are checking whether you drop one of those zeros, you round it, or you do something else. Just focus on the area they're looking for. Write a number that is 100 less. It's going to be less easy because you've got no hundreds in that number. If we look at our original number, 19,000, no hundreds, and 39. So now we're going to have to do a quick subtraction. Keep it neat. 19,000 and 39. Take away 100. It's going to take a little bit of exchanging, but not too much. 9 take away 0. 9 take away nothing, still 9. 3 take away 0, still 3. 0 take away 1, I've got nothing, I can't take away 1 from it. Exchange, 10. 10 take away 1 is 9. 8 take away effectively 0 is 8. 1 take away nothing is 1. 18,939. You might be thinking to yourself, yeah, I could do that in my head. Yeah, but under pressure of an exam, you could drop it. You could forget one of the other columns, and that doesn't take very long. It takes kind of 20 seconds to get that done. So just do it. Just draw it out. Draw the place value table. It takes 10 seconds. Draw the subtraction out. It takes very little time at all, but it will just save you those quick marks where you don't go, if you've ever done a practice paper, gone through it in class with a teacher and gone, then you're the kind of person that needs to be writing down all of your working out, really. We will pause it there for this part. We've got a few more questions to go, but what I want to do is I want to keep these videos nice and brief. This is the first part of the reasoning paper. When we come back, we will start on question 12, drawing lines of symmetry on a shape. Hopefully that was helpful and gave you a little bit of variety instead of doing arithmetic papers all the time. and gives you some ideas on how to gear yourself up for each individual question. The maths isn't particularly challenging in these reasoning papers for the most part. The difficult part is switching from one gear to the next, switching from, let's just review the questions we've had, switching from time and Roman numerals to negative numbers, then straight into coordinates, then straight into pictograms, then straight into written answers, then straight into subtracting decimals, linear sequences, rounding, the properties of a circle, properties of shape, the inverse, place value, again, subtraction. It's not about each individual question. You've all answered questions that are just this hard in any maths lesson. When you did rounding or when you did subtraction, you've answered questions like any of these. But it's a fact, can you jump from one topic to the next? That's the thing we're trying to train you. We'll come back for part 2 later on. Like and subscribe to the video, and please leave a comment if there's something specific you want me to go through in more detail. Leave a comment and I will do that just for you. Ciao for now.